Hello, everybody, and welcome to FaceTime Face Off with Mike and Dan. I'm Mike DiLisio.
I'm Dan Hughes.
And Dan, are we technically on FaceTime right now?
No, but let's gloss over that fact. We're on Skype, Mike. We're on Skype Face Off doesn't ring quite as true, unfortunately.
No, let's not ruin the illusion, everybody.
Indeed.
And I'm going to make a couple of apologies up front because I am coming to you from the newly christened Dice Tower Midwest Annex here
Mhm.
in Indiana, and I don't have any of my studio equipment, and so I'm on a very uh, DIY setup right now. I'm talking through my AirPods. I'm using my webcam. This is not the type of technical wizardry that you would come to expect from the Dice Tower, but I hope that you will give me a little bit of grace there. Now, Dan, obviously you're recording from a posh boutique hotel somewhere in London. Is that correct?
Yeah. I rented it out especially for the occasion. Yeah. I thought you would. I thought that moving to Indianapolis was a ruse, and really you just got fed up with the Dice Tower group, and you're now in the basement of your old apartment. Is that not right?
Dan, I refuse to answer on the grounds that it might incriminate me.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
why don't you, Dan? Why don't you describe what the conceit of this particular show, this FaceTime Face Off, is? What are we going to be doing today?
Well, as everybody knows, every year the Dice Tower do a top 100 of all time, and
Mhm.
and a part of that is that the Dice Tower poll the people and have a People's Choice top 100 of all time. And I
That
was
doesn't seem very
chatting,
kind, Dan. They poll the people. That sounds quite painful.
well, apparently they like it, but I was chatting to Mike about this earlier on in the week, and Mike was absolutely furious. He was saying the people have got no idea what they're talking about. The rankings they gave were
Hmm.
absolutely abysmal. They clearly are not real board gamers. And Mike said, we need to do something about this. We need to put this right. We need to re-rank the People's Choice top 100 of all times. Didn't you, Mike? That's what you said.
I don't remember it quite in those terms, Dan. I think that you are maybe reframing the discussion a little bit and doing a little bit of revisionist history, but I would expect nothing less from you. So,
You called them all
uh,
buffoons, Mike. You called them all buffoons. Clueless buffoons, you said.
that's a very British word, Dan. I would not use the word buffoon. So we're not going to win the whole 100. We don't have that much time.
No.
You have chosen five random games. Is that correct? Five
five
random
random,
games from the top
five games at
100.
random, and we're going to see if we, between us,
Mhm.
and also with the People's Choice in between, if we rank them the same, and if we don't, then we're going to petition Tom to get the official ruling changed. That's the aim of this whole exercise.
I like that. I know that Tom has that power to
Mm-hmm.
re-rank things on the People's Choice Board Game Geek list. So we're going to be using the Pub Meeple ranking engine to do this, and I've already got them loaded in, Dan. So are we ready for our first matchup?
I'm ready, baby.
All right, here we go. So first up, we've got a matchup between a classic worker placement game, Stone Age, and what I like to call, Dan, a modern classic party game in Deception Murder in Hong Kong. Now, I don't know. You have the actual People's Choice rankings in front of you, so I don't have this information. Um, so I can't use that. I don't have that crutch like you do to know what the people's rankings are. But I will tell you, to me, this one is clear. Stone Age is a fine game for its time. I think that it is now art imitating life. I feel like this is a game that belongs in the Stone Age. There are so many better entry level worker placement games now that although I have a bit of affinity for the stinky leatherette cup.
I was going to say any game with a stinky cup has got to that gets it a few places up on the
it
ranking system,
it gets
surely.
a little bit of rankings, but I, as somebody that has said many times, I'm not a huge party game fan. I love Deception Murder in Hong Kong. It's in my top 100 games of all time, and Stone Age is not. So to me, clearly, Stone Age should be lower than Deception Murder in Hong Kong.
I've got sympathy for you, but what is a better worker placement? What's a better beginner's worker placement game than Stone Age?
I
Would
would
you
rather
say?
play Lords of Waterdeep.
That's a good shout. There's no maths in Lords of Waterdeep. That's the problem with Stone Age. I seem to remember there's maths involved. Not complicated maths, but more complicated than I'm comfortable with.
That is correct.
Yeah, but you do get the stinky cup. Now as you know, Mike, I'm a big hate is probably that's too strong a word, but social deduction games. However, I'm with you. I think Deception Murder in Hong Kong is one of the few that I'll tolerate, really. So I'm no, I'm going to go with you as well. Murder, Deception in Hong Kong, Deception Murders. That wins it for me as well. So there's no need for tiebreaker. So lock it in.
I will lock it in just so the people can see. I'm gonna put this up. There's our Pub Meeple screen. Although now I want to move it right down here, and I want to shrink it a little bit. Look at this, Dan, in real time.
Class. Look at this master.
Well, look. This is the type of thing people expect with FaceTime Face-Off. So I'm going to go ahead and click Deception Murder in Hong Kong. I don't know how we're going to handle tiebreakers, Dan. Hopefully you've got something figured out.
I've got an idea how we're going to handle the people are going to have their say in tiebreakers.
Oh, okay.
So
we'll see.
Their choice will rule in tiebreakers. Yeah, you see.
You've ruined the entire conceit of this because the whole idea of this is that the people are buffoons, as you have clearly said on multiple occasions. So
maybe
using
we need
them
to go with opposite to what they say then. Maybe that's the way to do it.
Clearly, we put a lot of thought of this into the production before. Okay, so our next matchup, Dan, are you ready?
I'm ready, baby.
We've got Quacks of Quedlinburg and Great Western Trail. Do you want to start off the discussion on this one?
Well, these are two games that I actively dislike, Mike. I actively dislike both of these. Quacks of Quedlinburg for the old problem with bag builders in that theoretically, you are building a balanced bag, but unlike a proper deck builder with proper cards, you can pick whatever you want out of there. You can pick rubbish out till the cows come home. So I don't like Quacks of Quedlinburg. I think it's too random. It's too irritating. I've only played it once and I lost. So I'm still sore and bitter, Mike. I'm still sore and bitter.
Fair.
But Great Western Trail, that's another deck building game. Slightly heavier than Quacks of Quedlinburg.
A bit, yes, quite a bit.
I've yet to win that one as well. So both these two things I've put it down in my view. But I prefer Great Western Trail. Even I like the trying to be clever with building your routes and your little things. I've never managed to be clever doing that kind of stuff. And I always get very confused when it gets to the top and lose on I always lose. But Great Western Trail is a better game because it's better than Quacks of Quedlinburg.
All right, Dan, well, get ready for that first tiebreaker because I do like Quacks of Quedlinburg and I actively dislike Great Western Trail. I find it to be a exercise in tedium. I do like a lot of Alexander Pfister games, but that ain't one of them, baby. So what are we going to do? We're going to do the opposite of the people, or are we going to go with the people?
No, we'll have to go with the people. I think it's only fair to have the people. And the people do prefer Quacks of Quedlinburg over Great Western Trail.
All right, here we go.
I am outvoted.
Fantastic.
Again,
you lose to Quacks of Quedlinburg yet again, Dan. So how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel pretty bitter and like there's going to be no episode 2 of FaceTime, Face-Off, or whatever we called it.
Yeah, you remember. That's very good. Yeah. All right, here we go. We've got a return matchup. We've got Deception Murder in Hong Kong going off against Roll for the Galaxy, Dan.
Ooh.
So I think I prefer Race for the Galaxy to Roll for the Galaxy. Roll for the Galaxy is fine, but if I want to play that system, it's going to be Race for the Galaxy. So I'm going with Deception Murder in Hong Kong over Roll for the Galaxy.
This is all going hideously wrong, Mike. Hideously wrong. No, it's a social deduction game. It's got the DNA of a bad game. It may be the best example within that genre, but that's like saying, being punched in the chest is better than being punched in the throat. I'm still not going to enjoy it.
That's another one. We need to put that on a future episode. Areas of the body being punched. We'll do a face-off for that as well.
Well, I won't tell you where Quacks of Quedlinburg is. The only problem with Roll for the Galaxy, in my view, is, as my friend who's a audio technician says, he refuses to play it because he doesn't like the harmonics of it. It makes a lot of noise when you're rolling them dice all over the table and stuff like that.
The cup is aggressively loud.
It is aggressively loud, yeah. They should have a leatherette cup like the Stone Age.
Stinky leatherette cup. Now that would change things quite a bit.
There's not a single game on this list that wouldn't benefit from a stinky leatherette cup, Mike.
I agree.
And I think we can all agree that. No, I like Roll for the Galaxy because I love that engine building. I love that makes you, when you pull off that kind of combo that you've been aiming for, it makes you feel clever and stuff like that. There's no feelings of being clever in Deception and Murder.
I disagree. When I can convince people that your garden shears were the weapon and it was not my cleaver, that is the height of cleverness in my mind. But we're going to have to go to the people, Dan, because I'm going with deception.
This is where the whole thing breaks down because the people keep disagreeing with me.
Yes.
The people foolishly feel Deception, Murder in Hong Kong is superior to Roll for the Galaxy. So
that is fantastic. I will lock it in.
My views are being dismissed here.
Dan, this show is working exactly the way that I hoped it would. This has been a fantastic exercise so far. All right, here we go. We've got two returning games, Dan. We've got Stone Age versus Roll for the Galaxy. I'm going to let you lead off this discussion.
Well, we can't keep talking about that stinky cup, even though that's obviously the finest source of comedy there is. Stone Age is a great worker placement game. It's a great intro. It's one of the first games I bought. My first Stone Age is a very good kids game, actually.
Is it?
Yeah. Corey used to really enjoy that one. My daughter, sorry. However, Roll for the Galaxy, that's what it's up against, isn't it? I can't see the screen. Yeah,
it's Roll for the Galaxy.
It's a superior game, as I say. I do like that Roll for the Galaxy feel. I like the feel of all the stuff. I like the choices you make. I like the dice. I like it all, Mike. Roll for the Galaxy.
Okay, Dan, in a rare moment of pity, I'm going to go with you because I don't have a strong opinion. I like them both about the same. I don't love either, but I want you to feel what it feels like to be me for just a moment and to be on the correct side of things. So I will click Roll for the Galaxy. All right, here we go, Dan. Deception, Murder in Hong Kong, Quacks of Quedlinburg. Deception, Murder in Hong Kong, Quacks of Quedlinburg. Ooh.
My problem here...
Ooh.
Ooh. My problem here is the one game I've had of Quacks possibly wasn't representative of how much it is possible to enjoy that game, as in constantly drawing out the wrong things, staying right at the bottom of last place while everyone shot past me. But the fact that's even possible, Mike, and I normally like push-your-luck games, but that one just wound me up.
It is a push-your-luck game, Dan. I mean, you do have to kind of be prepared for that. Look, I mean, busting is going to be a part of it. It's definitely going to happen, but it sounds like it didn't work for you. I do like Quacks, but I prefer Deception, Murder in Hong Kong. That game is, again, in my top 100, and Quacks is not. So I have to stay consistent with my own internal rankings, and I'm going to go with Deception, Murder in Hong Kong, Dan. What are you going with?
I'm going with Deception, Murder in Hong Kong as well. I really didn't have a good time with Quacks, and I've had multiple enjoyable games of Deception, Murder in Hong Kong.
Okay, here we go. Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Again!
Roll for the Galaxy. Yes. Well, I think you have a clear winner on this one, right?
Roll for the Galaxy, straight down the line. It's a more intelligent game. It's a more enjoyable game. It's a more fun game. There's still the luck aspect. Yeah. But you also get to play off each other and guess what other people are doing and stuff like that. It's that social aspect as well. I really enjoy that. Roll for the Galaxy is a great game. I've never played Race for the Galaxy. I might enjoy that better.
You haven't?
No, but I have played that
Oh,
Terraforming Mars, the
the Ares
card game,
expedition. Hmm.
which people say is similar, and
It has some.
I still prefer Roll to the Galaxy from that as well. In fact,
Okay,
Terraforming Mars. Anyway, that's not the question.
that's not. Although that may show up in a future FaceTime face-off.
Who knows?
Who knows, Dan? This is tough. I hate to do this, Dan, but I do think that I prefer Quacks to Roll for the Galaxy. So who do the people? Who do the people? I think I know who the people.
You are ridiculous. You you're ridiculous. You're ruining
Yeah.
this for me. You're ruining it.
Mission accomplished.
You're just a populist. That's your problem. You're just agreeing with the people all the time. Quacks, yes, Quacks wins it. If that comes up at number one, I'm gonna be
I can't imagine it's going to. I can't imagine it's going to. Okay, here we go. Roll for. I think here's where you get your vindication, Dan. Roll for the Galaxy and Great Western Trail.
Yeah, Roll for the Galaxy, straight down the line.
Yeah, and I agree with you there. I'm not a fan of Great Western Trail, so I will click Roll for the Galaxy. We don't even have to have a long discussion about this one. This one is clear. It's the clearest one yet, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Great Western Trail and Stone Age. This one's easy for me, Dan.
Well, go on, persuade me. Persuade me. I will sit back here and listen to your argument.
I have had enjoyable games of Stone Age. I have not had enjoyable games of Great Western Trail. I think I understand the appeal of the design of Great Western Trail. You know, you've got this idea of a rondelle that you are adding spaces to. That's clever. I feel like Great Western Trail is a game with maybe one, perhaps two, but definitely one too many mechanisms.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's too many competing things for my attention. And so it feels like a little bit too scattered, not focused. I like a little bit more of a focused design, you know, in that type of a space. So there's my argument for Stone Age is a more distilled worker placement experience, whereas Great Western Trail is deck building and rondelle, and you've got some special powers and all other kinds of stuff.
It's that track up the top that annoys me.
I don't like
It's
the track either. Yeah.
Just let me score some points instead of this track.
Let me throw down a cow card and get 5 points. Can we just go the Stefan Feld route? Everything I do gives me 2 points. That's what I want.
No, I'm probably with you. You. Plus, I don't want to say the Stinky Cup again, but you have got the Love Shack in Stone Age as well, and that's always good for a gag. So yeah, a quick giggle. No, and it's more accessible by more people. It is a classic for a reason. And yeah, no, I'm with you. Let's throw Great Western Trail to the wolves.
Stone Age is. Dan, we have our list. Are you prepared to compare our list with the People's Choice list?
I am. I've got my piece of paper already.
Oh, wow! You actually used paper, Dan. That's you're bringing out the big technology. Here we go.
Don't use papyrus like you, Mike.
Don't knock papyrus until you've tried it. It has a lovely round mouth feel. Papyrus does. Here's our official FaceTime face-off re-ranking of the People's Choice. In the top spot, we've got Deception, Murder in Hong Kong.
As number one, this isn't. You should have done it back. You should have done it the other way around. But fair enough.
Do you want me to do it the other way around now?
Yeah, but don't tell anybody. Yeah, everyone pretend you haven't heard.
Pretend you didn't hear number one. In the fifth spot, Dan,
in the fifth spot,
is
number one. Go on, yeah.
Great Western Trail. No surprises there.
Last
Great
place
Western
where
Trail.
It deserves to be.
Correct, 100%.
Which deserves to be at number 5. It's probably going to be at number 2 if I've worked this out correctly. But go carry on. Yeah.
You're always able to work the math out, and I can't. Number 4 is Stone Age. Stone Age. All right. Number 3, Roll for the Galaxy. So, Dan, you were correct.
Cruelly robbed of first position, in my opinion.
At number 2, Quacks of Quedlinburg. And then the biggest surprise of all, Dan. Get ready for this. Are you ready for number 1?
I'm ready.
Deception, Murder in Hong Kong. So that is our official re-ranking, Dan. And why don't you tell what is the People's? How did we rank? How did we compare to the People?
Well, the people at number 5 would have
Hmm.
put Stone Age.
Okay.
Then they would have placed Roll for the Galaxy.
Hmm.
Then they would have placed Deception, Murder in Hong Kong.
Oh.
Then they would have gone for Great Western Trail, which is in the top 30 of the people's,
Oh.
which just goes to show how wrong they are.
Correct.
And backing up that decision, Quacks of Quedlinburg is actually number 7 of the people's choice.
Wow.
Yeah, they obviously have better games of it than I did.
Well, Dan, are you comfortable at this point, after this extensive research that we've done and using
Mm-hmm.
all of our ability, all of our experience, right? Let's just put it out there, all of our extensive board gaming experience, professional board gaming
Between us
experience,
both, we've got over 150 years worth of board gaming experience.
over a century and a half of board
Yeah,
gaming
yeah.
experience. Um, are you comfortable with just making these now the definitive re-rankings? Could we go in and work through the code on BGG and just kind of make this
It's not
happen?
BGG, it's the Dice Towers code. You've got the passwords for that, haven't you?
This is the people. This is Dice Tower's People's Choice.
Yeah.
I thought we were doing the BGG People's Choice, Dan. This changes everything. Yes, I will now officially re-rank this as the Dice Tower's People's
Yeah, yeah,
Choice.
just slip in. Just slip in there and change it.
It's not a problem. I'll contact Kenny and we'll make this happen before
Yeah.
the end of the day. Um, well, Dan, this was a fantastic experience, and I feel like, look, we have 95 other games, but we haven't played all of them. So
No.
we need to get working on playing the rest of these games so that we can continue this really very important work, if I do say so myself, Dan.
I would say it's possibly the most important work that you have ever done, Mike.
Well,
This is possibly life defining
the
for
pinnacle of
you.
my career, you might say, Dan.
Yeah, yeah, the pinnacle of your certainly the pinnacle of career. Yeah, if you want to call it that. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Dan, this was a pleasure, but I know that you have an early checkout at your posh London-based boutique hotel. So
yeah.
yeah. So I guess it's time for us to sign off. So until next time, I'm Mike DiLisio,
And I'm Dan Hughes.
and have fun re-ranking lists of your choice. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.